How do we make you happy?
I'm not a happy person.
You say he's a fascist. How is he a fascist?
I stand up to fascism.
So I think this whole protest is kind of pointless.
You support a black woman that supports white supremacy.
A new president has just been elected, a president who was a president previously. Donald J. Trump has been re-elected.
This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again.
As the 47th president of the United States of America, already we have the libtards breaking down in tears.
I'll be in denial. All right, guys, it's time to go to bed.
All because someone they disagree with, who wants to control the border, has been elected the president. It's probably not a wise decision to be calling people misogynists or garbage.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Doesn't really go down very well with the electorate. I'm actually really surprised they didn't steal the election, but that just goes to show they probably tried. They 100% did try. But there was just so much demand for Donald J. Trump that he got elected. Now, I'm at the American Embassy in London because I'm not in America. Why are you talking about American politics? Well, it impacts all of us. It impacts the United Kingdom, it impacts the world, it impacts the US citizens, and it impacts if we have war or not war. Now, my belief is Donald Trump was the only president in my lifetime never to start a war. That makes him a good man in my books. I'm hoping he actually takes the initiative, flies to Moscow, sits down with Putin, and brings an end to the Ukrainian and Russian war. I really hope that happens. Now, maybe that's not going to happen until January or February, but let's see what happens. I'm not going to go see what all of these people are complaining about. Already there's been an attack on the US Embassy, hence the reason I'm here. Some crybabies decided to spray paint the US Embassy, thinking that's going to help. So it seems like the protesters have been put on the roadside, so away from all the nice luxury apartments, and they've been put towards the roadside. My curiosity is, what do they have to complain about? What has Orange Man done that has upset them so much, and why would they be so happy if Karmala had won? What were her policies that they thought were so amazing? Let's find out. Could I ask you what brought you here today?
I'm here because I'm anti-Trump.
Okay, you're pro-Karmala, I take it.
I'm protesting against Trump, his regime, his infiltration that will seep again back into this country. That's never really left this country, actually. The fact that he's a homophobe, a racist.
He's a homophobe. He plays YMCA every time he dances. He's not very homophobic,
well,
is he?
He is.
A radical Islamic terrorist targeted the nightclub, not only because he wanted to kill Americans, but in order to execute gay and lesbian citizens because of their sexual orientation. It's a strike at the heart and soul of who we are as a nation.
I mean, this is somebody. Look, this is somebody who tried to ban transgender people. I mean, he's transphobic.
Didn't ban them. He just said, "I'm not going to pay for it with the military." He didn't ban them.
Well, that's transphobic, then, isn't it?
Why is it transphobic? The military taxpayers should be paying for it.
Well, why can't they join the army?
He's not stopping them from joining the army. He's just saying, "I'm not going to pay for your surgery."
Okay, don't pay for the surgery, but then.
So that's not transphobic, then, is it?
Well, he has said some nasty things.
What's he said?
He said, oh God, what's he said? He said some really horrible things, which I don't really want to repeat. But I mean, at the end
of it. Okay, we're all adults here.
Well, I won't repeat them.
You're anti-Trump. You must,
Well, he's racist. He has said some very nasty things about black people, about Hispanic people.
Half of his staff
I don't care about half his staff.
Half of his staff come from different countries and are different races. So
yeah.
Why would he hire different races if he was racist?
Look, the man has said some nasty things about black people and Hispanic people. The fact that he's trying to cover it up by employing black people and other non-white people doesn't really make any difference. Has he actually apologized? No, he hasn't.
So he would cover it up by hiring them?
That doesn't make any difference.
What's he said?
It's a bit like, well, he said that black men are dangerous and all. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
The claim that Donald Trump said black people are dangerous is simply incorrect and unsupported by any verified public record or statement. Now, while Trump has made comments on social and urban issues that some have found divisive or controversial, there is no evidence he has ever made as this specific statement. Misinformation can easily distort public opinion, especially when quotes or positions are misattributed. In a political landscape where words are often taken out of context, it is essential to separate documented facts from rumors or inaccuracies. Assigning such a statement to Trump without proof not only spreads falsehoods, but also distracts from real issues and discussions. So please, if you preach this again, it's simply incorrect. I remember Hillary Clinton saying that once.
Yeah, fair enough.
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
How many people did Karmala lock up as a prosecutor?
I'm not disputing
she
that.
would have been elected if he didn't get elected today. Do you think that was a better candidate? I'm thankful Kamala Harris didn't win. She was once known for her reputation in California as a prosecutor, simply because she used to put so many low-level marijuana offenders away. Most of them were young black men. While today in her pathetic election run that thankfully she lost, she spoke of reform, about justice and woke politics. Back in the day, she prosecuted thousands for minor weed charges, and those people went to prison for a very, very long time. Harris's past actions don't just disappear. With a soundbite on equality, they remain part of the troubling history where enforcement took precedence over empathy. She really was an atrocious prosecutor.
If Kamala had been president, then I'm sure that there would have been a counter-protest because she's also pro-Israel.
So
She's also, she hasn't, her and Biden were pro-Israel. They were propping up Israel, just like this country was propping up Israel, for firearms to use to, wipe out Gaza. So there would have been a problem with her too. I'm not sticking up for. Listen.
So you'd be here if she got elected.
Of course I would be.
You'd be here anyway.
Of course.
So today would be a Nancy Kamala day.
For me, it would be.
Okay. Are you pro anyone?
Well, I'm not pro-American government, no.
Okay, so what government are you pro?
I'm not pro any government. Okay. I mean, this government is just as bad.
Okay, so are you happy with any nation on this planet?
Well, if you're talking about government-wise, not particularly, no.
Tough audience.
Because there is no, for me, there's no government in this world that's perfect or that is, that will keep their promises. Especially this government.
Are you ever happy?
Is there anyone walking this planet right now, other than members of your family, that would keep their promises?
Well, yeah. He's just asking me really daft questions.
Really, I'm trying to understand you.
Look, at the end of the day, everybody breaks promises. But if you're going to be running around talking about you're going to do this, that, and the other for the country because you care about the people and you want the best for the people that you're governing, and then you break those promises, then I don't have any faith in them. I don't have any faith in this government. I didn't have any faith in the Tory party because they did exactly what they didn't.
Okay, but you're outside the American embassy right now, so you're protesting the American government, the American nation. Are you protesting the American people as well because they voted for Trump or they voted?
Not the people, no.
No. Okay.
Actually, no.
So
let me rephrase that. Okay, the people that voted for him, they need to understand, it's like what was in their mind.
Well, they only had two choices, didn't they? They had Kamala, and you've already criticised Kamala.
Apart from the fact that they had two choices, one of them has, a record of being a felon.
So here we are. Donald Trump has been elected the 47th president of the United States, and yet against all odds, against the media frenzy, and despite every legal hurdle they threw at him. And let's be clear, they've been throwing the book at him over what? Some falsifying records charge linked to a hush payment from years back? Come on. The entire Stormy Daniels case is the very definition of a legal technicality. These sort of offences usually fly under the radar, handled with a fine or a quiet settlement, and barely make the news. But because it was Trump, they blew it up to felony-level drama, hoping to disqualify him from the political ring. And yet, despite this supposed scandal, he's back
elected to the highest office, defeating every smear, every baseless accusation, and every cheap shot. Trump's victory is a loud and clear statement from the people. The American public saw through the charade and endless attempts to drag his name through the mud with these legal technicalities. They voted for the man, not the media's portrayal of him. This wasn't just a political comeback, it was a dismantling of the very establishment that thought they could shut him down with paperwork and outdated scandals. So for all the noise about hush payments and records, Trump has proven that none of it mattered in the end. The people have spoken, and the establishment's attempts to derail him have only made his return to power that much more sweeter.
One of them has a record of being a fraud.
You know, there's this whole, I talked with somebody once who said, you know, if you just look at where the stars are in the sky, don't look at them as just random things. If you just look at them as points, look at the constellation, what does it show you? So you just outlined it, Roland. What does it show you?
What does it, what does it take?
So the lesser of two evils, basically.
He's the most evil one out of the two.
Where's your next protest going to be?
I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't organise this one, so I don't know.
Are you a paid provocateur?
No, I'm not a paid provocateur, no.
I noticed the signs. There was a lot of signs from the Stand Up to Racism organisation.
Correct, yeah.
Do you donate to that organisation?
That's none of your business what I do.
Well, you're holding one of their signs.
I'm holding up one of their signs because I'm anti-Trump.
Okay. So you're anti-Trump, but today it would have been, if Karmala got elected, it would say, no, Karmala.
I would have thought so, yeah, but then you'd have to ask the organisers that because I'm not the organiser.
How do we make you happy?
How do you make me happy?
Yeah.
In what regards are you asking me that question?
You strike me as you're anti every government, every nation, a very unhappy person. How do we make you happy?
I'm not an unhappy person.
No?
I'm pissed off at the fact that, when we have governments that constantly make promises, that constantly create manifestos that they're going to look after the people that they're governing. I mean, like we've just come out of a 14-year Tory government.
Great.
In which they have fucked up.
They were socialists.
Sorry, can you fuck this guy off, please?
Oh, that's really polite, isn't it? You're just getting an intelligent conversation.
Just go away.
He's a Londoner.
I don't care what he is. I don't care what I am. I don't care what he is.
We're going to get head into the pub if you want to come with us.
I will do shortly, yeah. Which one?
I support Kevin Badenoch.
Which pub are we going to?
That's why you need to fuck him off, basically.
It's not with me.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Yeah,
my
all right.
friend's pointed at me.
Right, I'm not an angry person, okay?
Neither am I. I support your right to protest.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Is it all right if I
which pub
carry
you
on?
going
Yeah,
to?
sorry, a bit of a heckle, but I
Okay,
can't
cheers.
leave you alone.
I won't be long.
I appreciate that.
Right, okay.
I can talk
People like that, he loves Kemi Badenoch.
Excuse me, you said people like that.
Yeah, people like that. People like that. People like
I was going to stay silent, but you said people like that.
Yeah, people like you.
Badenoch.
I've
gone up to the
you support a black woman that supports white supremacy. That's who you support. Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
Do you want to ask him?
Rubbish. I would debate anyone from
really,
your crew on this.
really.
I will debate any of you on that topic.
How does
she is not a white supremacist. You are talking nonsense.
So are you.
I've gone up.
I support Kemi Badenoch.
I've gone up to the lead.
Do you know how stupid you look?
The next time I see the leader of UKIP, I'm going to call him a fascist to his face. Because I know that. Tell me what a fascist is then.
Why don't you tell me what a fascist is?
You tell me. Well, a fascist is someone who is seeking to use the ideology of Hayek, is seeking to use socialist methods in order to achieve that, and is starting to use either cultural or racial motives in order to promote their movements. And I stand up to fascism. Because I can give a definition of fascist, and you can't.
Yeah, well,
I put it to you.
Because I know what a fascist is.
No, you don't. Well, tell me what it is, because I've just given you a definition. You know what I'm a fascist. So you're calling Kemi Badenoch a fascist.
To be a fascist.
But you're filming, you're calling Kemi Badenoch a fascist.
She is a fascist.
She's
and
a fascist.
You support fascism.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
You support
I've
fascism.
gone up to the...
You support fascism.
No, I don't. I've just told you what fascism is. And they also don't believe in the democratic process. That's why we had Adolf Hitler. He wasn't such a good guy. I'll interview you guys if you want. I'll give you an intelligence.
You support a black woman that supports white supremacy.
The colour of her skin means nothing to me. I know she's been elected as the leader of the Conservative Party.
We
have a parliamentary democracy.
Your language.
Mum, we have a parliamentary democracy.
continue speaking to me.
It would be good.
You just abused
can
me, so
can
I
we come back in
interrupt.
5 minutes?
She
Is this
abuses me, I
Didn't.
is this your cameraman?
Didn't.
Okay.
Fucking idiot. Anyway.
Okay.
Look, right, as I was saying, I'm not a miserable person, right?
Yes, I can see that.
But at the end, listen, at the end of the day, right, as I was saying, when you have governments or proposed governments that build manifestos and you know, people expect those promises to come to fruition and they don't, of course I'm not going to be happy. I've exercised my right to vote. Not that I voted Labour this time round, by the way, because I voted Lib Dem, because I could not bear to have a Prime Minister like Keir Starmer.
So the Lib Dems make you happy?
Well, the Lib Dems have never been in power, but at the end of the day,
They were in power. In your lifetime, they were in power.
Yeah, the coalition, which they didn't really have a great deal of say, did they?
Increased.
I mean, at the end of the day, that was mainly a Tory party.
They increased student fees.
That needed, you know, people to get into bed with to bump up their numbers. That's the only reason why Lib Dems were in power.
They were willing to grease the hands and bend over and do what they needed to be done.
They were willing to get rid of or drop student fees, which they did not do. So
They increased them.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, you know, what else do? They didn't do anything.
I didn't vote for them, so.
Exactly. So, you know, the only reason why I voted for them is because I was not going to exercise my right towards Labour, and definitely not the Tory. So I had to vote for somebody in order to have a voice.
Okay, but I'm still wondering what makes you happy.
Well, let's see, what makes me happy? Being out of this country, going on holiday, protests like these.
So being out of this country, what do you mean? So
I like traveling.
You're a London accent. You're from London.
Yeah, I'm from London.
But you don't like being in the country.
No, that's not what I said. What I said was I like traveling.
Okay.
So being out of the country, i.e. traveling.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, what else makes me happy? Going to the theatre.
We don't want to leave you.
Yeah, sure.
Come on, yeah.
What pub are you going to?
It's none of your business.
Well, just maybe the pub makes you happy. Does the pub make you happy?
Well, good people, yeah.
There's a couple of pubs that way. So, you know.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, that's good for you to know.
Would you like to comment why you were here today?
Not really. I don't really
You
hang around and waste my time.
You got a sticker that says "Stand up to racism."
Anyway, thanks for the interview.
Thank you. What's your name, by the way?
Sorry?
What's your name?
Nevermind.
Nevermind's your name. So I said, is that all right to tag you as Nevermind?
You can if you
Okay.
You film because basically.
You sure? Maybe I can get your real name?
He has stood up to the anti.
It was a real washout. Effectively, only 20 people turned up to this protest against the new president. They were really disappointed. They'd even shipped in a load of signs. None of them got used, and the van had to promptly take them away. I really wish I'd got that on film, but I couldn't get my camera working in time.
Just you guys remaining. I'm just wondering what brings you here. Did I overhear you guys Trump voters?
I did not vote.
You didn't vote?
We did not vote.
Okay. Are you here for the protest or are you here for something?
You're here for the protest. Yes.
Okay. For the protest for laughs or protest because you're an one of them? For laughs? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
We want to observe.
You outlasted the protest. Were you here at the very beginning?
No, because we were supposed to be here at the beginning, but we didn't know where it was.
Yeah,
so we were just sitting over there.
But we didn't hear or find the place.
And just to give viewers an idea,
We've been here 40 minutes after.
20 minutes. It wasn't a very big protest, was it?
No, it was really short.
How many
we were
people?
expecting more.
How many people do you think made it?
I would suppose 50.
50?
I think so. If they're all bunched
Actually,
up like that.
yeah, that's a
50
good
to
number.
70,
50.
Closer to 50. Yeah, you're right.
50,
Closer to 50. Yeah.
Were you engaging with them, asking them
I
what?
was holding a sign.
What was the sign? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but that's the sign that was being given out. I thought you maybe have created something original.
No, not original.
No. Oh, so I see the sign. Well, actually, the sign's just been taken down. They already took it down. Do you endorse that sign? No, you're just holding it.
Yeah.
Okay. Why were you holding it?
Well, see, Trump's been elected. There's not much you can do. So I think this whole protest is kind of pointless. Because, you know, he's elected. He's going to be president. So I think say no to Trump.
They could do a recount. I just don't know what that'll yield.
I mean,
you know,
as far as I know, he won like most of the.
He won the popular vote. He won the Senate and he won the House.
He won both?
Yeah, he won all.
I thought he lost the popular.
And he won like the battleground states or whatever they're called. I don't think a recount is going to change.
Even the fact they tried to steal the election again, that he got so many votes they couldn't actually. They had to admit defeat.
So I think the whole say no to Trump, stand up to Trump. There's not much that can be done. I mean, he's going to be the president.
Yeah.
So
you saw all the 50 people here. How many of those people were American?
I think we only saw one, and that was one of the speakers.
Well, I mean, we can't tell by looks.
You can tell by voices.
We didn't hear anything.
When they were chanting, it was a chant together.
The ones I spoke to, I didn't hear a single American or speak to a single American. But I got here late. So I got here. Everyone seemed to be English. How does that make you feel that there's a rabble of English people protesting your president?
I mean, I think it is really interesting how even overseas people are taking, action against something that isn't directly impacting them, but is indirectly. So, I mean, I think it is really interesting to see that people are taking such, strides or action towards Trump being elected.
Are you excited that he's going to be a new president?
I just hope for the better, for a better future. I think I didn't vote again, so I think next election, we'll see. If things get better, maybe I'll vote red. If things get even worse, maybe I'll vote blue. I just want whatever's better for America.
Fundamentally agree. I think what's good for America is good for the world. So, he's the only president in our lifetime that wasn't involved in, never started a war. And that's a positive from a foreigner's point of view. Yeah. Obama dropped more bombs than any other president since Eisenhower, and he's hailed as a good president.
Yeah, with the whole Afghanistan war,
Yeah. Not just Afghanistan, Syria, Libya. He completely destroyed Libya. It was a functioning economy, a functioning country, and now they've got slave markets. But that's standing up to racism, apparently.
I mean,
very interesting take.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't vote because I feel like I'm uneducated and uninformed, not because of the news and stuff, but just because I haven't been actively researching, going out to get information. I'm kind of focused on my studies and whatnot. Not big into politics.
Are you studying in London?
Yes, we are here for a semester.
Well, welcome to London. I hope it treats you well.
Thank you. It's been great so far. Yeah.
And be an independent thinker, be a critical thinker. Never take anything as face value. Think for yourself.
Yeah.
We're outside the American Embassy. You've just turned up. The paid protest is loud left. What brings you here? I noticed...
Well, I came here because I wanted to see if I could catch it, but unfortunately I had stuff that I had to complete earlier in the day, and I couldn't make it on time, unfortunately, which is just annoying.
And if you'd been here on time, what would be the reason for you to be here?
Well, because I want our country to show solidarity against Trump, who I believe is a fascist.
Okay.
And I dislike the allyship that our government is showing towards them. I understand that there is a need for us to be allies with the United States. However, this sort of appeasing note that Starmer, our Prime Minister, has been taking, I just don't agree with it. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's just.
You say he's a fascist. How is he a fascist?
Well, I believe he is a fascist. Well, he is a racist. He is a misogynist.
So let's start with fascism.
Yeah.
What is the definition of fascism?
I can't tell you the exact definition of fascism right now. I can look it up literally right now if you'd like to.
But
he tried to overthrow democracy. If you remember, he incited insurrection on January 6th.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Were you there?
He was convicted of it.
He wasn't convicted of that.
Yeah.
No, what was he convicted of?
Shut up, man.
What was he convicted of?
You're such a fucking piss take, man.
I'm interviewing you. I'm just asking you what was he convicted of? Do you know?
Tell me then, please. Actually, genuinely, please tell me.
He was convicted for payments to Stormy Daniels. He put it through. He didn't put it through his political money. He put it through his personal money.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Supreme Court didn't end up convicting him. They ended up dismissing everything. Right? Yeah. Sorry. Okay. That I forget.
Come on,
I'm not American.
We're allowed to have an intelligent conversation.
Oh no, of course we are. That's what I'm trying to do. Sorry.
You got a little bit agitated there.
Yeah. Sorry. I do apologize for that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. But you then said he's racist.
Yeah.
I think we all know what the definition of racism is. So what's he done that's racist?
Well, the Muslim ban. The Muslim ban.
What race are Muslims?
Huh?
What race are Muslims? He didn't ban Muslims
Arab
either.
ban then.
He didn't ban Arabs either.
He put an immigration ban on Arab countries. Yes, he did.
This was back in, when was it happening? 2016, when he was tackling ISIS.
War in Iraq.
He was tackling ISIS at the time, and he put a ban on certain dangerous countries coming in while he was tackling ISIS. That wasn't a Muslim ban.
There was an extreme, because of his words, there was an extreme reaction against Muslims and against.
At the time he was taking down ISIS. How else are you going to control terrorism coming into your country if you're not basically putting a ban on the countries that you're actually at war at the time? That's what he was doing.
There was a refugee crisis during the time.
There was.
So you don't believe in supporting refugees?
I completely agree with supporting refugees. Do you know he was the only president that didn't start a war in your lifetime?
Oh, I didn't. I hate what the Bush and Obama administration did in starting the war.
But it was their doing that caused the refugee crisis, correct?
Huh? Yeah, I agree.
Correct? So if it's about keeping your borders safe, your country safe, you're going to put stricter measures on, especially if you're at war with ISIS, which he eventually wiped out. So there was no Muslim ban.
Wiped out.
And as we know, Muslims are not a race. Come on, let's be honest here.
Okay, then let's talk about, the 80s. Let's talk about the 80s.
80s, okay.
The 80s.
When he was loved by Oprah Winfrey, when he was loved by everyone in the media.
No, when he, I can't remember which exact case, the exact name of the case, but I remember that there was a large case in the US. I watched a documentary about it recently.
Would you think that documentaries filmed on Netflix, pushed on Netflix, could be slightly biased?
I also did a lot of research. I'm afraid I do have ADHD, so I can't remember things off the top of my head easily.
Okay. What do you have a PhD in?
ADHD.
Oh, ADHD. Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
I don't have a PhD, man. No,
that's all right. That's all right. Okay, so maybe he said something in the 80s, but you can't quite remember what it was. I don't know what that was.
Oh, I can look it up.
Is that the reason to be at the American Embassy tonight? Have you seen the things Biden said? Have you seen the things Karmala said?
Then please inform me.
What?
Then please inform me.
Karmala was a prosecutor in California, and she basically, how many people did she put away for misdemeanors like marijuana smoking?
I don't think that Karmala is perfect. However, I do think that she has a lot more. I do think that she would do a lot better things for LGBTQ people in the US, for trans people in the US, and for women.
What's her greatest achievement as vice president?
Well, vice presidents don't exactly have much power in the.
She had complete control over the American border.
Anyways,
Trump is a big fan of the LGBT community. So.
Oh no.
Oh, is he not?
Go
on then.
No.
Well, how is he not a fan of the LGBT community, other than saying I'm not paying for it in the military?
Well, his legislation, Republican particularly legislation, largely Republican legislation, has taken away a lot of trans rights. Let's not forget his biggest endorser.
What rights has he taken away?
Access to healthcare.
Such as?
Healthcare. The Don't Say Gay, the Republican Don't Say Gay bill.
The only thing he's taken away is deciding when he gets elected, which he has been in January from onwards, he won't be paying for it in the military for them to have operations. Now, if you want to have an operation with your personal money, that's fine. He's not banning them from the military. He's not banning them.
We're saying that access to
why should taxpayers pay?
Access to trans healthcare prevents suicides. Access to trans healthcare.
How does it prevent suicides? They have the highest suicide rates amongst all people.
Yeah.
The suicide rate goes up once they have the operation.
Suicide rate goes down once they have access to healthcare.
That's not true, and you know it. It's not true. All he's done is saying, I'm not paying for it under the military. We're talking about Trump here.
I believe that the majority of trans suicides and LGBTQ suicides in general are caused by hatred towards LGBTQ people.
I don't think that's the reason. I think it's due to the fact they're being poisoned with drugs. They're being put on drugs for life. They're under the thumb of pharmaceutical companies. Are you trans?
Huh?
Are you trans? So you're not taking drugs every day that's going to basically mess up your chemical, give you a chemical imbalance and make you dependent on big pharmaceutical companies. You know, why would you want to do that to yourself?
I was on antidepressants for a while.
Are they healthy?
Huh?
Would you suggest antidepressants as a healthy lifestyle?
If people need them, then I think that people do need them. Yes, antidepressants are very necessary for some people. Antidepressants save lives. Access to healthcare for mental health issues saves lives.
They also prop up the pharmaceutical companies. It's not a healthy lifestyle.
Neither is drinking. Neither are these.
And
things
there are and people
is vaping, but
really not healthy either. Not healthy at all. And but we're not going to take your right to do it if you wanted to. Although that's now been taxed under the Labour government.
Oh, I don't like current Labour. But
okay. Did you vote? Did you vote for anyone?
I voted for Labour this election.
Okay. So you only have yourself to blame.
Well, I wouldn't vote Tory. I couldn't vote Tory. I couldn't vote Reform either. I would have liked to vote Green, but I couldn't have possibly voted Green in Lewisham when the only party that's even remotely close to winning over Labour.
They've now embraced the Islamists in certain seats, the Green Party.
Sorry?
The Greens have now embraced the Islamists. I noticed you're wearing a scarf.
In
solidarity with the Palestinians.
Yes.
But the Green Party in the UK has now embraced Islamists who basically are against LGBT rights.
I haven't seen that.
You should look up. Please Google that. Please Google that, because the Greens have now disgraced themselves. They've aligned themselves with people that probably hate, well, not probably, do hate the LGBT people. I don't think Trump does. He's got many on his cabinet and in his circle who are of that persuasion. He doesn't hate them.
Okay. Well,
I hope
from the research that I've done, I can't say it right now just because I don't have these facts off the top of my head. I can't do that because I'm just a student. I try my best to be politically active in the things that I believe in. But there was a lot more damage that we witnessed being done during Trump's presidency towards LGBTQ people, towards trans people in particular. Than there was in Biden's administration. I don't particularly like, I especially dislike Biden and Kamala Harris's stance on Palestine and their refusal to acknowledge the fact that there is a genocide happening. During their presidency, the Americans vetoing the calls for ceasefire. I highly dislike that, and I think that it cost them this election. I believe that there is going to be a lot more damage done to people's rights in the US now under Trump's administration than there would have been had Kamala Harris.
Okay, you might believe it, but I hope you're going to be wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too.
And wouldn't that be an amazing thing if you were wrong?
If I was wrong, that would be incredible.
Because if 2016 to 2020 taught us anything, it taught us that president was the only president in your lifetime not to start a war. Isn't that a positive?
A trade war.
A trade war? That's just... It's completely different. Come on.
Yeah, it's completely different.
I think we can live with trade wars. We can't live with real wars, can we? A trade war is just economics. It's taxes, which is something Labour love, taxes.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all trade war is, taxes.
Nah, you got me there. Sorry. I didn't mean to agree with you there. I do believe in taxing the extremely wealthy.
Which is what trade wars are.
Yeah.
That's taxes. That's it. Okay. Thank you for literally standing there and taking the questions. I really appreciate it.
I'm sorry. I get stressed in this, but
it's all right. It's difficult being interviewed by somebody.
Yeah, it is difficult being interviewed by somebody, especially when I don't feel quite armed with like the things that I wish that I had off the top of my head.
Why are you here?
Huh?
Why are
I
you
was here to join in the demo.
Before you...
What are you unhappy about?
Well, I said it at the beginning.
He's given. He's giving you.
I'm
What's your
unhappy,
name, by the
I'll
way?
tell you why.
Huh?
What's your name, by the way?
Huh? My name is Oliver.
Oliver, thank you for your time, Oliver. I appreciate that. If you'd like,
Are you a YouTuber?
I'm a YouTuber, yeah.
Can I give you an interview?
And I was wondering how many people were going to be down here today. It turns out not many.
It was a bit of a low turnout, wasn't it? I mean, a bit like a general election, actually, but most people don't know the difference between the left and the right.
I think it was probably a good thing it was a low turnout, because it basically puts Londoners up in my estimations, because it basically shows that we're not a city full of crybabies. But you were here just to observe, or you were here to get involved?
I was here to celebrate the election of Donald J. Trump.
Okay.
Because I believe that the Americans have a democratic system, and I believe that the problems that are in North America are reflecting here, in that you cannot have someone who has got a different view on how to run the country, and yet you can't be friends.
A very disappointing turnout, it has to be said. You have to love the fact that they had shipped in all of these placards, printed out a lot of posters, hoping that they'd have an amazing turnout. It turns out they probably had somewhere between 40 and 50 at best, and I think that's an overestimation. I think that was probably just I was being told the figures, but maybe there was that many. But these organizations, they will protest just for the sake of protesting. I'm convinced if Karmala had won, they'd be there anyway. They'd be protesting because Karmala, and they'd have the same poster saying, stand up to racism, no Karmala. I've noticed this in the Palestinian protests, that you get there, and in the old days you had the say no to Rishi Sunak, and now it's say no to Keir Starmer. These people are never happy. They're never going to be happy. And, well, thankfully, there weren't many of them today. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep progressing, and MAGA 2024. Best of luck, people, and well done, Americans.